Fox News contributor Jonathan Honig discussed immigration reform on Eric Bolling's show. And you're going to see the debate that's set up here. It's, should we cut the social safety net or should we completely eliminate the social safety net?
20 million more people on the Medicaid rolls?
Well, that's what the Republicans want, Eric. They want to save Medicaid. I mean, just look at their platform on their website. They want to save Medicaid. They want to strengthen Medicare. They want to ensure retirement security, a.k.a. Social Security expansion. So the Republicans put themselves out there as being against the social safety net. They're not. They're for it. They just want to decide who gets it. This should be an argument against entitlements. But I think too often we use it as an argument as a red against immigrants. The problem isn't immigrants. The problem are the entitlements, and the Republicans want to keep those. They don't want to get rid of them.
Okay, so go ahead, Michelle. Jonathan is throwing a very strict libertarian line here, saying no social safety nets whatsoever. Where do you stand on this?
Well, look, I do think there should be safety nets, of course. Sometimes people have bad times and they should have something to fall back on.
For who?
However, I don't believe in this huge entitlement state. I think if someone has a problem they would need to fall back just momentarily,
right,
that's fine.
You don't want to. Right, so you want a social safety net, it's just that you want to decide who gets the goods. I mean, isn't that the same picking winners that you advocate against the president for?
Look, this is costing us, hold on, Jonathan, this is costing us $4.6 billion a year. If the president gives executive amnesty, that's millions of more people. Look, I'm all for immigration, okay? But I'm not for attracting immigrants that come here to live off of taxpayers. I'm for immigrants who come here who are going to contribute to society, contribute to the economy.
End the social safety net. The entire thing. I don't know how anybody could be for that in the year 2014. This is the hardline, rigid, libertarian message on economics. That everything would be perfect if we had a pure, unfettered, free market, laissez-faire capitalist system. Here's the problem with that line of thinking. We tried it, and it failed miserably. Where did the social safety net come from? They act like we woke up on one Tuesday and said, we should set up these programs. No, they came about out of necessity. Why? Because of the Great Depression. FDR was like, whoa, if I don't act and do something, there might be a revolution. There might be a total change and realignment and overthrow of the current system. They were afraid that communism would take over. They were afraid that new ideologies that were way more communal in nature. So what did FDR do? FDR said, okay, New Deal. That's what we'll do. We'll do the New Deal. Of course, LBJ came along later, did the war on poverty, so he helped as well with this. These guys were both tremendous on economics. So when all was said and done, we had Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, unemployment insurance, all these different things that were absolutely necessary and are wildly popular today. They act like we never did the experiment. Jonathan Honig is like, what if we just get rid of the social safety net? Everything will be perfect. It'll be like a utopia. Except we had that, and people were starving in the street during the Great Depression. The government was like, if we don't do something, we're screwed. We're done. I mean, again, they live in this world of theory where everything is a thought experiment. Everything is like, well, if you do this, then you do that, and then you'll set up a system that has better incentives and yada yada. And then it never comes to fruition. You need a social safety net. Every modern industrial country has a social safety net. I mean, as far as the modern countries go, the U.S. has the most meager social safety net. It's much better in Australia. It's much better in Canada. It's much better throughout Europe. But they act like, it's some sort of insane thing that nobody else does and we're destroying people's lives by doing it. Really? Go talk to a grandma whose only source of income is Social Security. Ask her if it's immoral or unethical or wrong that she's taking money in order to survive. I mean, look at Medicare. The rate of bankruptcy for senior citizens because they couldn't pay medical bills, it was over 30%. And then after Medicare was put into place, it's now 11%. It was wildly successful. But he's like, get rid of the entire social safety net. But that's not a smart conversation to have. I I mean, if you want to have a conversation about what kinds of social safety net programs should be there and why one is better than another, fine, we'll sit there and talk about it. We can sit there and talk about the different levels of social safety net programs that are available. Should there be time constraints? Should there be money limits? So on and so forth. But the idea that it's just get rid of all of it, you're a child. You're thinking like a not serious person. And then the final thing I'll say is to his point at the beginning. He's like, Republicans actually like the social safety net. They want to strengthen Medicaid and Medicare. It says it on their website. Well, number one, yes, everything ever said on a political website is totally true, and they always are in favor of that thing. But number two, even if you go by the fucking website, do you have no idea what the word strengthen means? You clearly don't follow politics. Jonathan Hoenig does not follow politics in any serious way. Because when Republicans say, oh, we totally want to strengthen these programs and make them so much better, what do they mean? Privatize them. That's what they mean. They agree with you, slapstick. How do you not get this? I mean, George W. Bush in 2004 proposed privatizing Social Security. There have been various other proposals from Paul Ryan, for example, where he wants to privatize Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security. That's what they're in favor of. Across the board, they're in favor of privatizing. And when they say we want to reform the system or strengthen the system, what it means is cut the system, get rid of the guarantees, and move towards a privatized system where we put all the money in Wall Street and they rob it from us.